Hello, welcome to Yoga. Rach, thank you very much for joining me. Happy full moon. We are also officially in Cancer season. Monday we had the solstice. Summer solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere and winter solstice if you are in the Southern Hemisphere. The June solstice marks us moving into Cancer season. When we have a full moon when the sun is in Cancer, that means we're in the opposite sign, which is Capricorn. A little heads up, if this video seems a little bit different than normal, I'm having my own little Mercury retrograde, filming this just before Mercury goes direct, and my phone that I would normally video on doesn't want to work. So fingers crossed this goes up, because I wanted to make sure a video would go up for this full moon. So Capricorn, it rules the top of our chart. It's about structure. So in the body, that's our bones, particularly the knees, represented as the sea goat. So we've got both those elements of earth and water in our Capricorn. So we're going to go into a little flow focusing on the knees. If you need to, if you have got them, you don't need to use any props, but it's always nice to use props if you have them. You might wish to use a couple or just one brick block, so those thicker blocks. If you do have resistance bands, then you can use those as well. We're going to be working with the legs. So if you have the heavier bands, if you've got a pack that I recommend and you have the different weights, then when we work with the legs, ideally medium, heavy and extra heavy are really good to work with as well. If you don't have the bands, still do the movement. This just adds a little bit more to them and really activates and works with the muscle area that we're going to be building some strength on. So let's get started. Find a comfortable seat. If the pose I'm going to recommend does not feel comfortable for you, honor how you feel in the knees. So this is going to be a case of moving into hero pose if that feels comfortable for you. So you're sitting with the knees together, knees to chins, top of the feet on the mat, and you're sitting the tailbone down on the heels. Now this might not feel comfortable, so you can take the legs at about hip width apart and place a block in between the feet. That might be enough just to create a little extra height. You can also use a couple of blocks as well. So see what feels comfortable. It's surprising how much more comfortable it does feel with that little extra height. Hands can rest on the thighs, shoulders over the hips, closing the eyes. Just have a little check-in with how you're feeling as you start your practice. So though Capricorn's an earth sign, like I said, it's at the top of the chart. So it's quite nice to go into a bit of a grounding practice. You might move a little bit slower, be aware of your feet when we get the feet, the soles of the feet on the mat. Especially if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. It's a little bit warm, a little bit muggy, so moving slower, really good practice. But if you're in the in the Southern Hemisphere, when you've moved into the season of winter, you might want to move a little bit faster, just warming the body up. So let's move into downward facing dog. So if like me, you're facing the shorter edge of your mat, you can bring your hands down, lift the tailbone and have a little wiggle back of the feet into your downward dog. You can move that block out of the way. Might have a little walk on the spot. Now we're going to go through a little mash-up flow of our sun salutation B. So however you want to get there, walk, step or hop, landing at the top, middle, the back of the mat, move into a standing forward fold. We're going to turn the toes out. We're going to check in with this bit first. So inhale, halfway lift the chin. Exhale, bend the knees, sit the tailbone down into Malasana, yogic squat. Heels can lift off the mat, that's fine. Inhale, lift the chin, looking up as though you're doing that half lift but in your squat pose. And as you exhale, bring the hands on the mat, push the heels on the mat, standing forward fold. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale into your yogic squat. Inhale, lifting the chin and exhale, folding forward. Last time, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, bend the knees, sit down into your yogic squat. Inhale, lift the chin, and exhale, standing forward fold. Let's turn the toes in instead of pointing to the top of the mat. Inhale, all the way up, standing, raise the arms. And exhale, release the arms down. Now I know the video is cutting me off, but we're focusing on the legs anyway. So this is quite good if you're wanting to work with your placement or your alignment. I'm going to move towards the top of the mat. You can stay near the middle or the back, whichever feels best for you. Feet are hip width apart. Inhale, raise the arms up. Keep the arms lifted. As you exhale, bend into the knees, sit down into chair pose. That's too much on the arms or the shoulders. You can bring the hands onto the shoulders or into the hips. Inhale, lift the chin. And exhale, folding forward. Inhale, lift the chin again. Turn the toes out. Exhale, bend the knees. Sit down into your Malasana. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, folding forward, turn the toes in. Walk, step or hop, pull the shoulders back straight into downward facing dog. Again, you can have a little walk on the spot. We're going to bring our left foot through first. So we're going to mix it up a little bit. Most of us are used to right foot first. So you can step or you can inhale, downward splits, exhale, knee into the belly, and place that foot down. Your choice. Are you going to keep your right heel off the mat or step the right foot forward and bring the heel down? Now you can see the lines on my mat. So if you have these lines, so my heel is on that middle point and then I can turn my toes. So you can see that darker line here where it points out slightly to the side. So it still keeps my toes trying to point up towards the top of the mat rather than turning the foot completely. Pushing into the feet, nice bend in that left knee. So your choice, are you in warrior one with the legs or are you in high lunge? So your toes are following that middle line and the heel is lifted or the toes are turning ever so slightly using that slightly vertical leg. So we're going to work with the arms. So I'm going to be guiding this because my arms will get cut off as they get to here. We're going to inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, lower the arms back down. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Last one. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands all the way down as we release. Now, if you're in warrior one, wiggle your right foot back so your heel is lifted. Stepping the left foot back, pull the shoulders back, tailbone high, downward dog. Let's do that on the right side. You might be inhaling, raising that right leg up. As you exhale, bring the knee into the belly. Placing your right foot in between the hands. Maybe you just stepped there. So you can decide, are you keeping your left heel lifted? So toes are trying to point towards the top of the mat. Or are you turning your foot ever so slightly? So find what feels that best placement for you. Sitting nice and comfortably into those hips, right knee is bent. Sweep those arms again. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Inhale, raise the arms up. Exhale, lower the arms down. Last one. Inhale, raise the arms up. As you exhale this time, bring the hand down. If you're in warrior one, wiggle that left foot back so the heel is lifted and stepping into downward facing dog. Your choice, walk, step or hop. Standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Turn the toes out. Exhale, bend the knees, sit down into your yogic squat. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, folding forward. Turn the toes in. Inhale, halfway lift. Sweep the arms forward, bend into the knees, find your chair pose. Inhale, lift the chin. Exhale, straighten the legs, lower the arms. So from here, we're going to work with our resistance band if you have them. So I'm going to use the heavy band, one which shows up a lot better on the camera than the extra heavy or the medium. And this one, I prefer working with these particular movements. There are two movements we're going to go into, hip abduction and heel taps. You can do both of these movements without the bands, but they do add a little bit more work to the glute med that we want to work with. So your glute med is about here on the side of your bottom, and this is going to help with your knees. So if you found any of those poses, even this now, I'm just kneeling down so I can see you. So yogic squat, hero pose, any seated pose where you're really bending the knees, your warrior pose. If you feel that a lot in your knees, then this can be something that could help. So have a go. Always get yourself checked out if you need to. It's always worth seeing a physio because they can give you a better check over than someone can on YouTube. But this has really helped with me, and I know those knees need a little bit of support. So we're going to step into our band. We want the band just above my ankle joint there, just above the ankle joint. Feet are hip width apart. Now, if you need a bit of support, use a wall or use a chair. So we're going to shift the weight into the left leg, lifting the right foot so the foot hovers. We're going to pull the leg out to the side and come back to where we started. We're going 10 and then changing sides. So when you're ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Place the right foot down, shift the weight over, lift that left foot up. We're going out to the side for 10. When you're ready, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring that leg down. So we use the left leg just now. So we're going to turn around. Feet are still hip width apart. If you need a bit of support with the wall, please do. Shift the weight into the left leg so our right leg lifts. So the foot is hovering, and we're going to pull the leg back. So again, the feet are about hip width apart, and you're going to go into these heel taps. You're going to pull the leg back to where you started for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Bring that right foot down. Shift the weight over. Left foot is hovering. Pull the foot back. So there's already a bit of resistance on those bands. When you're ready, pull the leg back and come back to where you started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And that's this with the bands, and you might be feeling that already. It doesn't take a lot. You can do 4 sets of those. We've just done 1 set of each. But you could do 4 times those 10 and then move into the other set of the heel taps if you go with the abduction first. Big inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, halfway lift, turn those toes out. And exhale, sit down, yogic squat. Inhale, lift the chin. And exhale, however you get that. Slowly come down to sitting, stretching the legs out. And we're going to bend the knees, drop the knees wide, bring the soles of the feet together, and find our bound angle pose or diamond leg pose. So from here, think nice and tall, closing the eyes, come back to the breath. And if you wish to, you might just gently fold forward. No pulling, no forcing, no straining. Just find what feels comfortable. It could be a little release into your lower back. You can stay in your forward fold for as long as was comfortable for you. If you haven't already, please do show your support and click the subscribe button. There are fortnightly videos coming up now, so for the rest of this year will be new moon and full moon practices coming up. We're already halfway through the year. If you wish to go into a bit more of a practice, there's a video here or a video here, and I shall see you in 2 weeks' time for our new moon. Thank you very much. Namaste.